1999 Constitution. And I'll begin with Briggs. What's your take on the calls from various quarters on the need for a review of the 1999 Constitution?
Well, I mean, when it comes to the 1999 Constitution, this is not a new proposal about the Constitution. I remember very well that when the Constitution was first presented to Nigerians during Obasanjo's government, after he was sworn in, I might add, even in the Niger Delta, we had our own constitutional review. And at the time that we reviewed the Constitution, and this is far back as almost 20 something years ago, we objected to the Constitution on many points, and we concluded that the 1999 Constitution is anti Niger Delta and actually anti-Christian at that time, as far back as that time. And since then, even Obasanjo himself had one constitutional review or the other. Eventually, we ended up with the 2014 National Convention, National 214
CONFAB, the CONFAB.
CONFAB. Now, since then, different people, different political parties, different interest groups, the Northern elders, the Yoruba elders, the Southern elders, have said one thing or the other about the Constitution. So then, I mean, it's not a surprise. But when this last call was made by this Ninth Assembly, I remember very well saying the organization Niger Delta Self-Determination Movement said at that time that the constitutional review was unnecessary, in the sense that so many reviews have been done in the past about this constitutional review, and that it was actually a waste of money at this particular time. So maybe for once I may find myself agreeing with the Northern elders, but the reason why they are resisting it is not the same reason why we are resisting it in the Niger Delta. We are resisting it in the Niger Delta because we believe that the 2014 National Conference, if we take the report out and look at the report, that whatever we may want to discuss about the Constitution in the review is definitely already in the report of the 2014 Constitution, 2014 CONFAB, okay. Because at the bottom line, what we want, at least let me speak for my region, what we want in the Niger Delta is a new constitution. Now, how do we emerge with a new constitution? The 2014 National Conference report makes it very clear. At the point where we begin to implement the reports, that the points that are there, we will find that we will emerge with a new constitution, because okay. You have to go past the constitution to be able to come up with the report, the constitutional points to be okay. able to come up with a new constitution.
Yes, so one can help but understand that when we talk about the review of constitution was always referred to the CONFAB held in 2014, the National Conference. We'll look at that event holistically on the show today. But let's talk about the constitution. And now that's the basis for this conversation. And he says something again. Nothing fundamental or all of any value would come out of these grand schemes to exploit our collective desire to address our political and economic fundamentals. These national assemblies also following suit, and it should not be encouraged on this path. And let's talk to Briggs on this particular one. Hello, Ankyo.
Yeah. Everything, as I have said, I think for the first time, I find myself agreeing with the Yoruba position, the Northern elders' position, And I believe that the Yoruba people have also agreed. And the Niger Delta, the South-South, whichever way anybody wants to call it, the Southeast, even the Middle Belt, I believe agrees with that.
Okay.
The reasons vary, the reasons different, because it depends on how the Constitution affects your rights as a citizen of Nigeria. And under this Constitution, or even outside of this Constitution, illegally, a lot of things are happening in Nigeria and have happened in the past since this Constitution was handed over to Obasanjo. That have gone wrong based on how it affects you. So I agree, and my voice is added to it on behalf of my people, my region, and the organizations that I am attached to, that we do not need a new review of a constitution that, as Mazi rightly have pointed out, that the 1999 constitution is a fallacy, is a lie. It's a cooked up constitution.
Thank you. Hello.
And will not work.
Hello, Anki. Let me come in. You called it a lie. Ezoki also called it a lie. But that's the constitution Nigeria has been operating on.
But wait, Kenneth, when you say the constitution of every country in the whole wide world says that we the people. Now, we the people means that it is true that we the people put this 1999 constitution together.
So thank you.
It is a fallacy and a lie, because we the people did not put the constitution together. The constitution is a military decree put together under the guise of agbada, under the guise of suit, under the guise of wrapper, under the guise of whatever people are wearing traditionally. But we, the people, did not contribute to this constitution. The military under Abdul Salami, before it was handed over to Obasanjo, are the people that very quickly packaged the constitution together. Now, some people would tell you, oh, one man from Southeast was in it, another man from Northwest was in it. Yes, we agree to that. But that does not take away the fact that the military government under Abdul Salami Abubakar were the people that packaged this thing, and that we, including me, including Hassan, if he doesn't agree, then of course he has a right to that, and it's okay, that we, the people, did not contribute to this constitution. If we did, Christianity would be mentioned in it.
Okay. Now, your point is a particular, school of thought, and I understand. But some persons would say that there have been various amendments to the Constitution to, limit the lacunae or the vacuum in the Constitution. There have been amendments since its inception.
Well, if the Constitution have been amended, and even with the amendments, we are still saying it is not a people's constitution, whose head will we have to knock with the constitution for them to accept that this is a constitution that is not accepted by Nigerians as a whole? We need a new constitution. We should be discussing how we will come up with a new constitution.
Letters between and classes and regions. This cannot be achieved by a process that routines wasteful expenditure around false hopes. The legislature and executive branches of government have large quantities of reviews, recommendations, or reports from past attempts at amending the constitutions. These represent enough resources for a review if the legislature is serious about this vital national priority. Even this is not likely to produce a genuine effort to address the basic requirement of securing a stable, secure, and prosperous Nigeria, because both arms of this administration are likely to accept to put through wide-ranging reviews of the Constitution. And now let's talk to Ankyo Briggs on this particular one. Hello, Ankyo, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Now, we are still analyzing the, take of EF on the proposed move by the 9th Senate. I read out a particular excerpt. What's your reaction to it?
Well, you see, let me broaden it a little bit, because you're concentrating, unfortunately for us, on the on just what the Northern Elders Forum have said.
I will come to the hello, thank you. I will come to the CONFAB reports and also look at other regions.
I'm not talking about the CONFAB report.
Okay.
I'm saying that other regions, the Yorubas, have made very strong statements against it. The fact that the Yorubas say they agree with the Northern Elders Forum, as I have said earlier on in my presentation this morning, it doesn't mean that we are disagreeing on it on the same reasons. Now, the reason that the Northern Elders Forum are disagreeing on it is for their own purpose, and the purpose why we are disagreeing on it must also come to the forefront. Now, we have said that, and our people do see people like me as perhaps being weak when we seem to constantly be saying that we want this country restructured, because our people on whose behalf we assume, and I hope we are speaking, are seeing us as being weak for continuously saying that we want to restructure the country before 2023 election. This call to review the Constitution by the 9th Senate is another trick, is another wayo to distract us from the fact that they believe, some of them believe, that they can just mago their way through 2021, because already 2020 is gone, 2022, and then somehow magically get to 2023 without restructuring this country. I want to assure them, and I want to assure our people, that really, if we truly want a change in this country, I'm talking directly to my people now, because what the Northern Elders want and what we want are two different things. And so if my people really believe, the Southerners, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the Niger Delta people, and the Middle Belt, if we truly believe that we want a change in this country, that change must start with the review, with the change of the restructuring of Nigeria. Because if you restructure Nigeria, automatically, logically, with sense, you will be able to do the right thing. Because then Kaduna, either Kaduna State or any state that has gold, will bring the gold to the table the way oil and gas has been on the table for the past almost 60 years. They will bring the gold to the table. Now, if they want not to bring the gold to the table, then they cannot continue to have the oil and gas on the table. These are the realities. And what the Ninth Assembly is doing, and what really the Northern Elders Forum, in my opinion, is also doing, is somehow in an on-the-table way supporting what the Ninth Assembly wants to achieve, which is that the status quo is going to remain. Well, we should be talking about how is it that the whole security system is in the hands of the minority, a people who are minority in this country. All the people who are heading the military, the police, the custom, all these people are from a particular place in Nigeria. And these people are minority. They're not more than Yorubas. They're not more than Igbo people. They're definitely not more than all the ethnic nationalities in the Niger Delta region or in the Middle Belt. If we want Nigeria, we have to accept the truth. And the truth is that the Constitution must change, and we must go back to a system where we're either doing federation, or we have internal self-determination, or we have a restructured Nigeria, which gives us any of the three things that we're talking about. A constitutional review is not the answer. 2014 National Conference report is the answer.
Okay, well said from Ankyo Briggs. So passionate there. One will understand. She wants a better Nigeria. She wants a better South region. One will understand. Exploration of mineral resources in every part of the country. Now let's talk to Ankyo Briggs. Hello, Ankyo. Now, you are part of the CONFAB 2014. Can you give us a sense of understanding on the recommendations made in that conference?
Issue is nobody was left out of the conference, from ethnic nationalities to traditional rulers, to politicians, to people, to businesses. All area was in that conference.
Okay.
Before the conference started, there were people specifically who condemned the convening of that conference and said that they will never accept the report of this conference, of which the present president was one person and was very vocal. So he already had made it clear that he would not accept the result of the conference. So that the Senate under him, whether it's the 8th Senate or the 9th Senate or whatever Senate, under him, have dodged anything to do with the conference. Should not be a surprise.
So, at the beginning, Ankyo, please. So, are you saying that the recommendations made from that conference have been, neglected?
Well, I mean, it's obvious that you've done a bit of research on the conference, on the national 2014 conference. Now, you answer this question. Can you name one thing in the national conference under the recommendations that this government, this APC government led by President Buhari, have implemented in one way or the other? That's the question Nigerians should ask themselves, because being a member of that conference, I unfortunately I don't have the time, according to you, to lay the grounds of the question that you have asked me. So, I mean, let Nigerians decide for themselves. That the report of that conference has the solution to the crisis Nigeria is going through. I agree that if the Senate insists on carrying on this thing, nobody can stop them. But then they should do it free of charge, and let's see how well they're going to be able to do it.
And I quote, "The desire is for a more united, progressive, and prosperous nation." Page 7. A better and more inclusive society in which every citizen is a proud and committed stakeholder. Page 11. A stronger, more united, peaceful, and politically stable Nigeria. You can go on. In other words, there is a vision of the kind of Nigeria we should struggle to build. But there are a number of impediments. And at page 9, the concern of Mr. President, I believe this really is the reason for the gathering of this conference, is that we must identify these impediments and wisely propose ways and means of removing or overcoming them. And some of these impediments are huge. And a number of the delegates here have already very, very eloquently described, identified such impediments. This conference must not only identify, this conference must propose practical ways, to quote Mr. President, of overcoming these impediments. The threat of massive unemployment, the tragedy of poverty, the disgrace of corruption, the menace of violent crimes, the paralysis of sheer ignorance, the paucity of infrastructure, the rigidities of the superstructure which has been imposed on us, which we must re-engineer. Distinguished delegates, we have a historic opportunity. And I thank God that all generations are gathered here. And it is by the grace of God that some of the older members have also been privileged to be here. Because when we now propose these practical ways, if they are not deep and profound enough, those the older generation will tell us we tried that before. Therefore, we have to be creative. We have to really, as it were, put on our thinking caps. Thank God, gathered in this place is an impressive array of intelligent, experienced, educated, talented, able Nigerians. We can do it.
We can do it. Those were the words of Professor Jerry Ghana at the 2014 CONFAB. At some point, I felt I was just there, but I wasn't there. Let's get talking. I could keep talking about this issue. Hello, Ankyo, are you there? Hello, Ankyo? Hello? Okay, at this point, we have to go for a quick break. I'm on. Okay, at some point, I felt you weren't there. But, hello, Ankyo. I want to take a time out to just sit and talk to you about this conference, because I love those words of Professor Jerry Ghana, and you are there. So what do you make out of those strong statements, those patriotic statements from Professor Jerry Ghana, because they seem to be a very, very strong one, that if implemented, Nigeria will be better. He made some strong comments, and I took note of them. More united, progressive, and prosperous nation. Stronger, and of course, politically stable. Those were the words of Professor Jerry Ghana. What's your reaction? What's your take on those words? And what exactly must be done to make sure that those recommendations made must, I want to use the word must here, be implemented, please?
Well, I mean, as long as you will let me express it, because I definitely was there. And incidentally, Professor Ghana sat directly behind me with the now Chief of Staff, Ambassador Gambari. So he was very right when he said that they were the best of people, of Nigerians at all levels, market women, all kinds of people were there. Now, he talked about unity. This is a conference that he spoke these words at, and encouragement and expectation so forcefully, believing that it is possible. Unity, a stronger country, politically stable, justice. None of these things that he spoke about and we discussed and agreed upon have materialized since the inception of this government, because he spoke these words in 2014. A new government came on board 2014 around April, May, the length of the conference, which ended in August, and then we had election in February, and this government came in and swept this conference under the carpet. And now, unless we bring it, you are excited by what he said, but you are excited over nothing in the sense that what you are excited about is under the carpet, is in the dustbin. Nobody wants to discuss it. The Senate has thrown it away. They don't even want to look at it. So how can we have a united, strong, politically stable country when, like I said, all the powers of political power and development of the country is in the hands of a very small minority in this country over the majority of this country?
Okay, well, we understand your point. Except from that conference, please have a listen.
I represent ethnic nationalities from the South. I have to portray my office. This is a national conference. I want to draw the attention of delegates to the main issue why we are here. About 350 people have spoken. 350 delegates have spoken since we started. And what have they said? Are you sure that is a warning bell? Now, the duty of the speech of the president has been overflogged. All I want to say is that from now on, let us dwell on how to assist Mr. President. What he wants is simple. The Constitution needs some tinkering with. The center, the federal government, is heavy and needs unbundling. We have to help the federal government to unbundle the center. And I have a message, I haven't heard the second warning bell, for everybody, that when we settle down to the committees and we now decide on who the federative units are, I want to preach a gospel. There is enough for everybody's need. There is enough for everybody's need, but not enough for everybody's greed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
There's enough for everybody's need, but not enough for everybody's greed. What a statement. But let's talk to Ankyo Briggs now. Hello, Ankyo.
We can't hear you.
Hello, Ankyo Briggs. Hello, Ankyo.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope you heard the statement from that CONFAB 2014.
Yes. What's your question?
Okay. I want to say that he made mention of the fact that he comes from the South. Maybe you should know him. Do you know him to start with? The last speaker.
Well, it was in the conference, yes.
Okay. Now, he says something that the center, that is the federal government, is heavy and needs unbundling. Your reaction to that?
Now, I mean, that's the call for restructuring. I told you that everything we're discussing today, we're yearning for today. We discussed it in the 2014 CONFAB. Anybody who refuses to even look at it does not mean well for Nigeria as a united country, because everybody had a position, whether it was a negative position or a positive position to the others and only to themselves, or whether it was a positive position to all of us as Nigerians. The point is, our views were heard as we were delegates, and from the areas or the reasons why we were delegates. And so, if it is to make Nigeria move forward, and we talked about again the issue of resource control by the other speaker, by Jerry Ghana. His was more extensive by what you showed us. He spoke about everything. We're talking about resource control. What is resource control? People in is it Zamfara or the other one where they are getting gold, took about 12 bars of gold. Okay, thank you, my brother. 12 bars of gold to go and show to the president. The whole world saw it. Can Wike go and show a barrel of refined crude that we have refined in Rivers State? We don't have such right. But here is a governor who has gold in his state and has, by the Constitution, has the right to mine this gold and take it to the president as his own from his state, refined by his state, owned by his state, and shown it to the president. Are they bringing it so that they will take 13%, as we are taking 13%, and then give the rest to Nigerians to share, so that Kano can take 44 and they can take whatever their local government amounts to? No. So the point is, these issues were raised. We're not being fair. This constitutional review that they want to talk about, even in COVID-19, there was a rumor that the people who were managing the COVID-19 were receiving 500,000 naira per day? or per week or per month. I don't know. How would you receive money for working on COVID-19 for crying out loud, so that you stand in front of TV and tell us what is happening, how many people are dead, how many people are infected? This is how they steal money, they loot our money. And everything we have said in that conference, they have not taken it into account.
Okay. Anki, we have a few minutes to call it a day on today's edition of the show. I must tell you, it's been a very insightful conversation, but let's get a parting shot on analyst and commentator. Thank you so much for your contributions on the show today. And of course, to Anki Briggs. Hello, Anki.
Hi.
Yes, thank you so much for your contributions today. And of course, anytime we talk about issues of national interest, people want to listen. Thank you so much for your contribution today. And yes, it's a very brilliant conversation today, review of the 1999 Constitution. Very okay. But